The good news is it's late in the day, but I think we have more people here than we have all day. I think this is the indication. This has been a great day so far. And we are really honored now, certainly after Senator Wicker and the wonderful panel that we had. Thanks to all for the flexibility and timing as well. So now we get to hear from someone who really knows a lot about global food security. And Barbie, you talked about some of the global issues, some of the work of USAID that's done in getting after this global balancing wild fisheries, aquaculture, the interrelationships, what's best, what's worst, where, when, how, and I think these are key questions that we need to get after. I'm not going to take a long time to read her bio, but I just think someone who's been involved in this, someone who is a key person, knowledge about the Global Food Security Act, and has been deeply involved internationally with USAID, working as a assistant administrator and getting in these issues. So thank you very much for your great work, and I'm just going to shut up and get out of the way. We are really honored to have you here, Beth. Thanks for coming out and talking to us about this key issue.
So thank you so much for that introduction, and I'm just really glad to be here today. And this is a really important audience for food security. We've been working on fisheries since the beginning of Feed the Future, but it's not often I see a whole room full of fish people, so I'm really happy to be here. So thanks for the opportunity to talk with you and both share a little bit about my work, our work, and to learn more about the important work that you all are doing here too. So I wanted to start by, for those of you who aren't so familiar, by talking a little bit about Feed the Future and then diving into the global food security strategy and how fish and oceans actually fit into it. So I'm here today as both the head of the Bureau for Food Security at the U.S. Agency for International Development and also the deputy coordinator for America's initiative to combat global hunger and poverty called Feed the Future. And so for those of you who aren't familiar with USAID, our mission is to end extreme poverty, promote resilient, democratic societies while advancing security and prosperity. And increased security and prosperity has benefits both globally, but also here at home, as it leads to increased American security and new opportunities for American companies and also American workers. So the Feed the Future initiative has USAID also draws on the expertise, strengths, resources of 10 additional U.S. government agencies and departments. You've heard from NOAA, that's also a partner. Also, great. Oh.
Sorry.
That's all right. Oh, that's all right. Everyone knows who I am. Or it doesn't matter who I am. Beth Dunford, USAID. So includes also, there we go. Now I'm not Senator Wicker, so that's good. So we don't look so much alike. Millennium Challenge Corporation, U.S. Department of Agriculture, State Department, as well as Overseas Private Investment Corporation, U.S. African Development Foundation are among the partners in this Global Food Security Initiative. And so we've been working together to give families and communities in some of the world's poorest countries and communities the freedom and opportunity to lift themselves out of hunger and out of poverty. So this is obviously a very big undertaking and one we definitely cannot do on our own. So we're bringing together a wide range of partners, including governments from around the world, really taking leadership to solve this problem in their own countries, leading American and international businesses, nonprofits, universities, international universities, but really relying on the expertise of U.S. universities and research institutions. And so we're equipping people with the knowledge and skills to feed themselves and their reliance on aid and build a more sustainable, stable world by creating meaningful opportunities for a new generation of young people. So these efforts to date have really produced some significant results. I'll just talk about a few here. We've created nearly 5,000 public-private partnerships, which is really leveraging private sector capital to investment to help farmers generate more than $800 million in agricultural sales in a year. And really, most striking, we've helped to reduce poverty by and stunting, which is an indicator of malnutrition, by up to 1/3 in many of the areas where we've been working. And so this really is Feed the Future's contribution to American economic security and leadership interests are garnered bipartisan support in Congress, and which led to the passing of the Global Food Security Act in 2016. And so I thank everyone here who helped to get this act through, and it really reinforces this approach to global food security. So we submitted a strategy to Congress, a global food security strategy as outlined in the act, which details how we work with these 10 other U.S. government agencies, and really fish and oceans, fisheries figures very prominently in this strategy, and I want to talk a little bit about how. We've seen really, as you all know better than most, fish is one of the most traded commodities in the global market, and it's incredibly nutritious, which is an important food for many of the countries where Feed the Future works. So we've seen the impact, actually, that working with fisheries can have on the communities that we're helping to development. So just to give a couple of examples, in Cambodia, if you talk to Hout Kak, who's the leader of a community fish refuge that we've been working with. And so really these are wild fisheries in Cambodia. They have been degraded over time. It's a community resource. So we really worked with these people to say, look, if you invest as a community to protect these resources, invest in some of the infrastructure, we'll help you with new techniques, help you defray some of the costs of this investments in the infrastructure. This is really beneficial over the long term. And I think working with leaders like this fish refuge in Cambodia, we've seen that as the community comes together, builds confidence in their ability to really make such a positive change in their resources in their lives, they're seeing tremendous outcomes in terms of income and actually nutrition. So that's one of the most positive things that we're seeing. There's also, this is just one example. There are also many other things that the Global Food Security Strategy outlines to do with fish. And I'll just name a few of them here. Strengthening ecosystem-based management to increase natural productivity of fisheries. Securing tenure and managing access rights, which we know is incredibly important, especially in a common good. Promoting sustainable fishing practices. Strengthening, importantly, fishing associations. Reducing inefficiencies and waste along the value chains, and then reducing inappropriate subsidies, increasing government investment in this very, very important sector. And so with everything that we do, we take it from a multi-pronged approach. We also work with community-led efforts to promote, to co-manage wild fisheries, also in Senegal and Ghana. Wild fisheries are these are marine fisheries, are very, very stressed and required very significant attention. Just in Senegal, we're helping the country safeguard Senegalese fisheries by, again, strengthening local governance and management of these important resources. Also helping to establish local conventions for fishing and plans for managing offshore fisheries, which I think is something that's game-changing and really important to managing these marine fisheries. Also working with the government to address overfishing by working with the country to fight illegal, unregulated, unreported fishing through participatory surveillance, which has really had an important effect. And then we're doing similar programs like this in Ghana to also manage the marine fisheries there. So I think, again, this is important for the broader ecosystem. This is important for people who depend on this important resource for their livelihoods to really come out of poverty and improve the nutrition of their families. Through the Department of State, we're advancing regional and global fisheries negotiations, strengthening the management and capacity and effectiveness of regional fisheries management organizations, and importantly, promoting the establishment of science-based conservation and management measures, promoting sustainable management of the high seas. NOAA, of course, an important partnership, working closely under the National Ocean Council for Illegal, Underreported, Unregulated Fishing Committee to promote stronger fisheries management. So I just want to thank you all for your support, let you know that Feed the Future recognizes the importance of fisheries in our overall global food security efforts. And as new challenges arise in this arena, we will need new partners and new tools to help address them, given the, like I said, the important role of fisheries. And we're really happy to have a strong partnership and similar interests with all of you in the room. So thank you so much for inviting me today, and I really appreciated the chance to be able to speak with you today. Thank you.